Welcome. Today for Motivation, which will be our final segment, we will be discussing managing uncertainties in the new year with speaker and coach Bright UK. Now, he's a man known for inspiring mental transformation through his sixth sense framework. You are welcome, Mr. UK. Is that an anagram or is it UK? Is it?
The UK is right. Ukwenga.
Okay,
So Ukwenga for UK for short.
Oh, nice. I like it. Right.
Ukwenga
All right.
full.
So let's talk about these uncertainties. And recently, there have been so many uncertainties. You wake up one day, it's a different thing from what you left the other day. So how do we actually go about navigating all of these uncertainties? Especially, it's only just February, and we're so uncertain about the remaining the rest of the year. But let's have you motivate us on this.
Well, first and foremost, someone said, the world has been talking about VUCA since, say, 2020. It's becoming more of a a buzzword. But someone said something very important, that the world met Africa in VUCA. We have always been in the VUCA world. Like these have always
VUCA,
been. Yeah.
You mean what now?
It has always been volatile.
Okay.
There have always been uncertainties. There have always been complex realities. There have always been ambiguity. All right, be clouding our environment, as it were. And so, in Nigeria, uncertainty is something to expect. It's normal.
Constant.
It's constant. It's just the degree that changes. For example, in the last week, we had to start queuing for cash. It's unprecedented.
I know, right?
All right. And then, like they said, the Naira was gaining against the Naira.
The Naira gaining against its own self. That is just...
very interesting, right? So, in terms of how do we manage these things, first and foremost, we need to understand that uncertainty is the only certainty as far as life is concerned. It's normal. It will always happen. You will not always be able to anticipate or predict everything that will come your way in the future. So first and foremost, you want to focus on the fact that, this is really the normal thing. It's not anything abnormal. It's not out of the normal. Second, you want to focus on yourself, right? Focus on what you can control, right? You cannot control what will show up, right? But you can control how you respond to what shows up. So instead of saying, let us try to control what happens, why not let us say, let's control our reactions, right? Especially our emotional reactions, right? And so in terms of managing uncertainties generally, I would want to speak about, say, 4 or 5 things that we need to make transitions, all right? In terms of our mental transitions, the way we think, the way we see things. First and foremost, we have to go from feeling to thinking, right? Because when there are uncertainties, the first emotion we feel is fear, right? We are shocked, and it's normal. The fear and the shock comes from the fact that the expectations we have do not match the realities that we experience, all right? So it's normal, and we have to tell ourselves that this is normal, but go from feeling to thinking. Because if you feel, you're just going to be carried in the euphoria of the things going on, right? But when you allow yourself to think, then you can be more objective about what is really happening. Sometimes fear just only, magnifies, the realities on ground. The second thing is we need to go from knowing to learning.
Knowing to learning.
We need to go from knowing to learning, because normally, when we talk about our expectations not matching our, experience, or the idea is what we are used to is no longer what is. So what we know becomes obsolete, right? It's rendered obsolete by the new realities. We now have to discover what's the new normal, right? What are the new rules for getting to achieve the things that we want to achieve? It's not impossible to achieve the things that we want to achieve. It's just that there will be new rules. The rules will have changed. The game will have changed. So we need to find out, okay, what do we need to learn in order to make things work or make things happen? The third one is for us to go from seeking perfection to seeking progress. Yes, because when you come with expectations and you expect everything to go 100%, you're going to be disappointed. Because the realities will be shifting, and the extent of, how to what extent they shift, that you cannot even control. So instead of focusing on perfection and getting disappointed, getting disillusioned, and getting disempowered,
take one win at a time.
Just take it one step at a time, exactly, and celebrate your little progress, as it were. Right. Then number 4 is you want to go from seeing it as opposition to seeing them as opportunities.
Nice.
This same situation, some people will still take advantage of it.
Yeah, especially POS guys.
POS guys. I mean, the fuel guys, you know.
Guys, you know.
Somebody said that a combination of a POS person and a fuel person is a power couple.
As in, I'm telling you now, they're bigger than last man.
You know,
Custom,
they are,
police.
they are the power couples, as it were. So, but the point is how we see, and that's why I say we need to, control ourselves, manage ourselves first, because you need to tell yourself, regardless of what happens, I am the determiner of my destiny. What I decide, my choices, my actions is what will determine the results, not necessarily the circumstances, taking place, as it were. So you need to go from seeing these things as oppositions that threatens your progress, that threatens your success, to seeing it as opportunities. Okay, so what are the new rules? Oftentimes, when uncertainties are in the air, it means that the game has changed, and most times there are possibilities for greater things,
the
right?
gaps, the openings.
Yeah, there are openings, new openings, as it were. But if you're used to thinking the way you always thought, I mean, you'll just not be able to flow in the new normal.
Yeah.
Finally, you want to go from working alone to working with people.
Oh.
Right? It's time for, go from competition to collaboration, as it were. Like, start thinking, how do I bring other people on board? There are things they know that you don't know, for example, and you want to leverage their knowledge, you want to leverage their perspectives. When the game changes like this, the question is not about what you know, the question is how you see. And borrowing other people's perspective can go a long way to helping you to understand what is and how to navigate it.
Wow, those are very, very interesting little nuances to how we can, navigate what we find currently as our new normal.
Oh, yeah.
But to bring it into light, to bring it into our respective realities now,
Yes.
how can what do I say to myself? How do I condition myself when I wake up in the morning with the present situation? No fuel, no cash, no light, and everything. How can I psych myself up to have that positive outlook with everything that you said?
Yes, basically, I'm a determiner of my fate. I can't stop the government, it's not even the government's problem alone, the banks and, or I can't stop all of
The
that.
conditions.
I can't stop it. That's the truth. I can't stop it. But the question is, if you decide to stay in bed, it will only get worse. If you decide to stand up and do something about it, why? Let me give you a typical example before I come to our present realities. There is a story, in the Bible, if you're familiar with the story of 4 lepers, right? Who were at the outskirts of town, and if you know how leprosy was in those days, it was like COVID-19. So they were isolated in the outskirts of town. And these guys thought to themselves, they said, if we sit here, right, we will die. There's famine in the land, right? And just out there, the Syrians are there on the other side. If we go to the land, if we stay in this city, the famine here will finish us. That's mutually assured destruction. But if we go out there, there is still a chance of survival.
Survival, yeah.
Right? And they said, okay, let us at least go there and see what, if they decide to spare us, fine. But if not, they kill us, no problem. But they would not allow themselves to stay where they are. And then they decided to go. And guess what? They found out that there were nobody was in the Syrian camp. The Syrian had had a sound and, taken off. And then before you know it, they entered one place, they, took a whole lot, they ate to their fill, and guess what? They said, okay, if this is what obtains, then let us keep going. They kept doing that for a while, and then before you know it, they came back. They said, no, if we continue like this, we'll only eat alone and die alone. But let's go and call bring our people on board. And guess what? The guys came around and they looted everywhere. Now, there was another leper. Or there was another impotent guy, paralyzed guy by the pool of Bethesda.
Yeah.
Waiting for, an angel to come and steer the water. The same situation that man was in, but he decided to stay there. Not until, Jesus came and said, see, rise up, take up your bed and walk. And simply in bringing that to our present realities, rise up, take up your bed and walk means take responsibility, step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right. Take responsibility. That was all he was saying. And when you take responsibility, the help you are looking for will locate you.
Nice.
You will not need to look for help. Just like the lepers, the same people who had despised them and put them at the outskirts of time, eventually they became heroes to them.
Yeah.
You can see that now. So again, it's not about staying in bed. If you wake up in the morning, tell yourself this whole thing is not gonna finish me. This is not here to kill me. This is not here to mar me. This is not here to to stop my progress. This is here to create new opportunities for progress.
Beautiful, Bright. Beautiful. I can take from that. I can use it myself. Just get up and move. Make sure you're not stagnant. That's the one thing.
Just keep moving.
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Thank you very much, Bright UK. That was very, very motivating. And I'm sure that you guys also took from that as well. We love that you guys have been around. Do stick around. We're almost done here for Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you once again, Bright. We're looking forward to our final little bit here where we get to taste what's been going on inside of the kitchen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.